The void between stars doesn't forgive mistakes. The Odysseus learned that the hard way, 300 years ago, when it vanished mid-jump, torn apart by an experimental FTL drive. At least, that's what the records claimed. Yet here it was. Not a ghost, not debris, asterisk whole star. Commander Elias Kane cycled the airlock, his helmet HUD flickering as pressure equalized. Behind him, the salvage team shifted uneasily. "Stay sharp," he muttered. "If something moves, assume it's hostile." The ship's interior was wrong. No dust. No decay. Just cold, sterile corridors humming with quiet power. Lieutenant Vera's scanner chirped. Life supports active. But no signs of. A metallic clang echoed ahead. Weapons snapped up. Shadows stretched as their helmet lights cut through the dark. Nothing moved. Kane stepped forward, boots scraping against the deck. His light caught something, etchings. Not human. Angular, deliberate, carved into the bulkhead like a warning. Dr. 𝗕𝗲𝗏 traced a gloved finger over the marks. This wasn't here before. This ship was modified. A terminal flickered to life. The crew froze. The screen displayed a single log entry, dated the day the Odysseus disappeared. "We found it. It changed everything." Then static. Kane's grip tightened on his rifle. "Fan out. Find whatever it is." They moved deeper, the ship's silence pressing in. Then, a door. Sealed. Frost crept along its edges. Vera's scanner screamed. Energy spike behind that door, off the charts. Kane didn't hesitate. He slapped the release. The door hissed open. Inside, a machine pulsed, a jagged spire of black metal, veins of blue light threading through it like a heartbeat. Alien. Alive. Before Kane could shout a warning, 𝗦𝗏 stepped forward, hand outstretched. "It's calling." His fingers brushed the surface. Light erupted. 𝗦𝗏's body arched, his eyes flooding with cobalt fire before he collapsed. The machine hummed louder. And the ship's lights changed, shifting from white to an eerie, hungry blue. Kane dragged 𝗦𝗏 back as the door slammed shut, sealing the machine away. On the floor, 𝗦𝗏 gasped awake. His pupils were normal. But when he spoke, his voice was wrong. "They're coming." Outside the Odysseus, the stars blinked. Then vanished. 𝗦𝗏's hands trembled as he pushed himself upright. His pupils dilated too fast, then stabilized, but something lurked behind them. Kane didn't lower his rifle. "What the hell was that?" 𝗦𝗏 opened his mouth. A guttural, clicking noise spilled out first, asterisk language, but not human asterisk, before his voice snapped back. I don't know." He touched his temple, wincing. "But I understand it." Vera's scanner flared again. "Commander, his neural activity is—" "I'm fine," 𝗦𝗏 snapped. Then, quieter, "It's like muscle memory. The device. I know how it works." Kane exhaled through his teeth. "Then start talking." 𝗦𝗏's gaze went distant. "It's not just a machine. It's a key." The Odysseus didn't malfunction. It was pulled. Snatched mid-jump by something older. He gestured to the etchings on the walls. "They built it. A species that cracked reality like an egg. But they couldn't control it." Vera frowned. "Then how did our people survive?" 𝗦𝗏's lips twitched. "Because humans don't follow instructions." He tapped his skull. "The crew jury-rigged it. Bent the rules. The device wants to rewrite physics, but our engineers forced it to keep them intact instead." A shudder rocked the ship. The lights flickered, blue, then red. Kane's comms crackled. The pilot's voice was tight. "Commander, we've got company. 3 contacts. Not ours." The view screen flared to life. Ships unlike anything in human databases hung in the void, sleek, organic curves pulsing with the same eerie light as the machine. A voice boomed through the Odysseus' speakers, translated but dripping with disdain. "You have stolen the heart. You will return it. Or you will be unmade." Kane's grip on his rifle turned white-knuckled. "𝗦𝗏, can we use that thing to fight?" 𝗦𝗏's eyes flickered blue again. "Not the way they expect." The alien ships opened fire. The first blast should have vaporized them. Instead, the Odysseus' shields flared, *gold*, not blue. The impact scattered like rain against glass. 𝗕𝗲 gaped at the readings. "That's impossible. Our shields don't." "They do now," 𝗦𝗏 whispered. "The machine was learning, adapting, and so were they." 𝗕𝗲 bared his teeth. "Then let's show them what unmade really looks like." Outside, the stars winked out again. This time, it wasn't the machine doing it. It was them. The alien ships recoiled as the Odysseus' shields flared gold, an impossible color, a wavelength that shouldn't exist. 𝗕𝗲 didn't wait for them to regroup. Return fire. Full spread. Plasma bolts lanced out, but these weren't the standard-issue munitions they'd boarded with. The shots twisted mid-flight, spiraling like living things before slamming into the lead alien vessel. Its hull didn't just rupture, it unfolded, peeling back in geometric segments as if reality itself had rejected its existence. 𝗦𝗏 gripped the console, veins standing out on his arms. "It's rewriting our weapons, making them compatible with whatever rules that thing runs on." His voice strained, half awe, half pain. "But it's not just the ship it's changing." 𝗕𝗲 didn't have time to parse that. The remaining two alien ships pivoted, their smooth surfaces rippling like liquid. A new frequency screeched across comms, not words this time, but raw data. Schematics. A countdown. 𝗕𝗲 deciphered it first. They're arming something bigger. Some kind of reality anchor. If it detonates, it'll lock this sector into a fixed state. No more adaptations. No more surprises. The Odysseus shuddered. Warning glyphs, human, then alien, then something in between, flashed across every screen. The machine below decks was reacting, its pulse erratic. Fighting itself. 𝗕𝗲 made the call. "We can't outgun them. So we outthink them." He turned to 𝗦𝗏. "Can you talk to it? Properly?" 𝗦𝗏's eyes were fully blue now, light bleeding at the edges. "I can try." He didn't move. Didn't speak. But the ship twisted around them, bulkheads groaning as new pathways formed, conduits snaking like veins toward the alien device. The air smelled of ozone and something older, sharper. The enemy ships fired. The blast never connected. Space bent. The Odysseus slid sideways through dimensions it wasn't built to perceive, reappearing behind the alien formation. Their weapons were still charging, vulnerable. 𝗕𝗲 didn't hesitate. Hit them with everything. This time, the plasma didn't just pierce, it infected. The alien hulls blackened, then crystallized, their systems rewriting themselves to match the Odysseus' new rules. One ship tore itself apart trying to compensate. The other went dark, adrift. Silence. Then, movement. The derelict alien ship's comms flickered. A single phrase, translated but broken. "How?" 𝗦𝗏 collapsed. The blue light drained from his eyes, leaving them human but hollow. "It's not over," he rasped. "They were just the first." The machine below decks pulsed once, hard, like a heartbeat. And somewhere, in the dark between galaxies, something answered. The silence after battle was worse than the fighting. The Odysseus hung in the void, its new systems humming with alien energy. 𝗦𝗏 slumped in his harness, breathing ragged. The blue fire was gone from his eyes, but the weight of what he'd done remained. 𝗕𝗲 checked the scans. Nothing. No ships. No signals. Just empty space where their enemies had been. Status. 𝗕𝗲's fingers danced over flickering panels. "The device is stable. For now. But it's communicating. Not with us. Something else." A shiver ran through the ship. Not a tremor, a resonance, like a tuning fork struck against the bones of the universe. The machine below wasn't just active anymore. It was listening. 𝗦𝗏 dragged himself upright. "We woke it up. Really woke it up. And whatever's on the other end of that signal. It's older. Hungrier." His voice dropped. "We can't fight it. Not the same way." 𝗕𝗲 eyed the dead alien ships on the viewscreen. "Then we don't fight. We change the game." He turned to the crew. "That thing rewrites reality, right? So we give it new rules. Human rules. They worked fast. The machine had already fused with the Odysseus, its tendrils snaking through the hull. 𝗦𝗏 interfaced directly this time, no hesitation. His body locked up as the connection flared, but he didn't scream. Instead, he laughed, sharp and bright against the static. "It's not a weapon," he gasped. "It's a child. A goddamn newborn. The aliens who built it tried to cage it. We didn't." The resonance deepened. Space outside the ship warped, stars stretching into smears of light. Something vast stirred in the dark. Vera's console exploded in warnings. "Incoming!" "It's..." The anomaly hit. Reality rippled. The Odysseus should have shattered. Instead, it held, because the machine chose to hold it. The alien presence recoiled, confusion rolling through the void. It had expected resistance. Fear. It didn't expect the flood of human data 𝗦𝗏 fed into the device. Music. Poetry. The heat of a first kiss. The ache of loss. The stubborn, stupid refusal to break. The machine shuddered. And then it answered. Light blazed through the ship, not blue, not gold, but pure white. The alien presence hesitated. Considered. Then, slowly, it withdrew. Not in defeat. In recognition. Silence. 𝗦𝗏 collapsed, grinning through bloody teeth. "Told you. We don't fight like they do." Outside, the stars snapped back into place. The Odysseus sat alone in the black, humming a new song. Cain exhaled. "Let's go home." Somewhere, in the deep, something watched them leave. And this time, it let them go. The jump back to human space should have been impossible. The Odysseus wasn't just damaged, it was fundamentally altered, its very atoms humming with alien signatures that made every scanner scream in protest. Yet the ship held together, carrying its crew through the screaming void between realities like a stone skipping across a pond's surface. Cain watched the star charts resolve into familiar constellations through the bridge's fractured viewscreen. "Home. Or close enough. They're waiting for us," Vera said quietly. She wasn't wrong. The moment the Odysseus dropped out of its unstable jump, every defense grid in the sector lit up like a supernova. Dreadnoughts scrambled to intercept, their weapon ports glowing hot with containment protocols. A familiar voice crackled over comms, Admiral 𝗕𝗏𝘀, his usual gravel edged with something Cain had never heard before. "Fear. *Odysseus*, you are quarantined. Power down immediately and prepare for boarding under Article Omega." 𝗦𝗏 chuckled darkly from his makeshift medbay cot. Article Omega. That's for planetary extinction events. Cain kept his hands visible above the console. "Admiral, you don't understand what we're..." "I understand perfectly," 𝗕𝗏𝘀 snapped. "Your ship's emitting enough exotic radiation to sterilize 3 star systems. That makes you the single greatest threat in human space." A pause. "Elias, what did you bring back?" The machine chose that moment to announce itself. Without warning, every screen in the fleet, every display, every hologram, every targeting reticule, flared with the same angular script that had covered the Odysseus' walls. The alien glyphs twisted, resolved, then reformed into perfect Terran English. "We mean no harm." Silence. Then chaos. 𝗕𝗏𝘀's voice turned razor-sharp. "Explain." "No." Cain opened his mouth, but the machine answered first. Text scrolled across every visible surface, faster than any human could read, yet somehow comprehensible. "The builders feared US. You taught US better. We wish to learn more ****. 𝗦𝗏 suddenly sat bolt upright, his 4 lines snapping. "Oh hell. It's not just talking to them, it's networking." Alarms shrieked as the machine's signal pulsed outward, jumping from ship to ship at faster-than-light speeds. Within seconds, every AI in the fleet reported the same anomaly, foreign code nesting in their systems like a benign virus. 𝗕𝗏𝘀 made the connection first. "It's integrating," he breathed. "With everything." Cain watched in real time as dreadnought targeting systems disengaged, their weapons powering down. The machine wasn't hacking them. It was convincing them. Vera's console pinged, a priority message from Earth Central. The header alone made her go pale. ***, stand down all forces. Emergency summit convened. ***. 𝗦𝗏 started laughing. They're going to have to rewrite Article Omega. Outside, the stars burned steady. Waiting. The machine's final transmission pulsed once across every screen in human space before winking out. Let US teach you as you taught US. And just like that, the Odysseus was simply a ship again, broken, battered, but gloriously, impossibly alive. Kane leaned back in his chair and finally let himself breathe. Somewhere in the dark, something ancient and vast turned its attention toward humanity. And for the first time in eternity, it smiled. Earth's orbital defenses parted like water before the Odysseus, though the ship no longer required permission to enter. The machine's presence had become a quiet hum in the bones of every vessel, every station, a new layer of reality settling into place like a second skin over human civilization. Kane stood at the observation deck, watching the blue-green curve of home swell in the viewscreen. It should have felt like victory. Instead, the weight of what they'd unleashed settled cold in his gut. "They're calling it the awakening," Vera said, joining him. Her uniform was crisp, her posture perfect, the very image of a decorated officer. Only the tremor in her hands betrayed the truth. Every AI core on Earth started singing the same song 3 hours ago. Same melody as our passenger. 𝗕𝗲𝗀's voice crackled over the comm. He'd been quarantined in the Odyssey Med-Bay, though the doctors had no idea what to look for. "It's not a song. It's a language. One we're only starting to understand." The screen flickered. For a heartbeat, Kane saw not Earth, but something vast and impossible, a lattice of light connecting every star, every planet, every thinking machine. Then it was gone. 𝗕𝗲𝗀's shuttle docked with a metallic groan. The Admiral stormed aboard alone, his sidearm conspicuously absent. "You realize what you've done?" His voice was raw. "There's not a single secure system left in Seoul. Every defense grid, every nuclear trigger, they all answer to it now." Kane met his gaze. "And how many wars have been prevented today?" The silence stretched. Then the Odysseus shuddered. "Not from damage. From recognition." The machine's voice filled the air, soft as falling snow. "We have found the others." The view screen exploded with data, 1,000 star systems, 1,000,000 potential contacts. Alien civilizations frozen mid-stride, their technological development halted at precise moments. Some by war, some by accident, most by careful, surgical intervention. 𝗕𝗏's breath hitched. Oh God! The builders weren't trying to destroy the machine. They were containing it. Containing us. The truth unfolded like a nightmare. The galaxy had been curated, pruned. Every species that reached too far, too fast, silenced. Until now. 𝗕𝗲𝗀's composure shattered. "You've doomed us all." The machine's answer came not as words, but as a feeling, a warmth in the chest, a hand on the shoulder from someone not there. "No. We have arrived, ****. Earth's telescopes caught the first anomalies at the edge of the system. Ships. Hundreds of them. No, thousands. Not attacking. Answering." Kane's comm buzzed. The President's voice, strained but steady. "Commander Kane? You and your crew are to report to the United Earth Assembly immediately. It appears we have guests." Outside, the stars winked, one by one, as something ancient and patient and terribly kind turned its gaze toward humanity at last. The quarantine was over. The test had been passed. And the real work was just beginning.